I regret to inform it's a sad day in Saugus, it's a sad day in Los Angeles County and the nation for another tragic shooting at a school.
2 students are dead. 3 other students are injured in a high school shooting near Los Angeles, California. We have new details on the victims, the shooter, and we'll hear from witnesses.
It was absolutely terrifying. People were tripping and falling. I was trying to help them up.
I saw all kinds of kids running up the street, screaming, crying, yelling.
Another terrible day in an American high school after a lone gunman opened fire on fellow students. This time, it happened in Santa Clarita, California, just as the school day was beginning. A 16-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy are dead. 3 other teenage victims, 2 female, 1 male, are wounded. The shooter was described as being in grave condition. Police say he shot himself in the head and that today was his 16th birthday. The weapon used was a .45 caliber semi-automatic pistol. Investigators say the whole incident was captured by a security camera in the school's quadrangle. Saugus High School was immediately locked down. Some students sheltered in place. Others fled when they heard the gunfire. They describe what they saw and heard.
I heard the first 2 shots and I was kind of confused. But then when I heard the third one, I just started running.
The first one went off, and then after a while, the 2 more went off right after, and everybody just started running.
And people were tripping and falling. I was trying to help them up.
We heard them a little more distant and not, like we could kind of tell with our ears, like in what direction it kind of was. But still,
it was absolutely terrifying.
I never looked back, and we just all kept running. Like, we were all helping each other, like, oh, do you have a ride? Do you have a ride? Because, like, it was just like a big group of us just running through this neighborhood. For it to happen here, it's just, I can't even comprehend it. It doesn't make sense to me how this could happen here.
Police in Santa Clarita held a news conference just minutes ago. Here's Sheriff Alex Villanueva with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department.
The school was locked down. We did partial evacuation. We also sheltered in place a portion of the school until we established who was responsible for this tragic shooting. The surrounding schools in the area were also placed on lockdown as a precaution. We did identified who the shooter was through firsthand witnesses, video surveillance. We confirmed it. We then executed a search warrant at the residence of the suspect, and now we're going through the very lengthy process of conducting a thorough investigation to figure out what happened and why.
The suspect was later identified as one of the victims who was found in the quad. He is identified as a 16-year-old male whose birthday is today. The weapon that he used was recovered at the scene. It's a .45 caliber semi-automatic pistol, which had no more rounds in it, had no more bullets in it. He is a resident in the 22900 block of Sycamore Creek Drive in Santa Clarita. That location was contained by sheriff's deputies, and a cursory search was done to identify any other potential victims which may be at the location. There were none there. It is now being contained. A search warrant is being written, and it will be conducted to process that scene for evidence. We are in the process of interviewing students who were witnesses to this incident. Some of those students are being taken are still at the high school in a multi-purpose room, and other students are at Grace Baptist Church, where they will be interviewed by sheriff's homicide detectives. Additionally, we have scenes at the quad at the school to process the crime scene there. A team at the suspect's house, a team at 2 different local hospitals. And we have another team that's working with our tech crew to process any video which we may be able to get from the surveillance system at the high school. The FBI is here, and they are collaborating with us to preserve and capture any cell phone video which the students may have captured of this incident at the time that it happened.
So as we said, the shooting happened in Santa Clarita, California at Saugus High School. Santa Clarita is about 70 kilometers north of Los Angeles. Freelance reporter Steve Futterman is there. He has more on how the community is reacting to today's shooting.
Well, you know, it's the normal reaction. Sadly, I've covered so many of these, and I often hear this reaction. We can't believe it happened here. This is a very safe suburban area, sort of a bedroom community in Los Angeles County, very safe area. I talked to one student who said to me that exact line, I can't believe it's happened here. Then he paused for a moment and then realized, he said, well, with our society the way it is right now, maybe I can understand. So sort of the reality of the times we live in, mixed in with a sense of safety that has been shattered here in this area today.
Freelance reporter Steve Futterman in Santa Clarita, California.